Hey, what's up, everybody? I wanted to make a quick video. It's not a Japanese lesson or any vlog. I wanted to make this video because I saw a post of one of my friends that I used to work with actually a while ago. I haven't seen her for a while, but because of the recent Johnny Depp and Amber Heard verdict, Johnny Depp won, which I think is a good thing. Because of that, an acquaintance, she wrote something like, "Oh, great! Now I can not tell anybody that I was abused because nobody would believe me." So I thought, okay, now I have to say something because I probably should call her up and say, "Hey, please say it." And what happened a week ago, the verdict, should encourage you. It's the other way around. And I just, realized that so many people are using this verdict as an example of like, oh, okay, see, always the man gets the final say, or man would the names and fame and wealth would win all the time. But I see it a different way. So first, people thought, she was the abused, but people would take time to go through the evidence, and they will look at your case. So I'm saying this because I had an incident of my own. There was a police matter and I had to go to the court. And I felt like he was such a liar. I mean, he was a professional, actually, a fraud. But for a short period of time, people bought what he said, then I sounded like I was a crazy one to complain about things. So for me to see that justice system works, that it should be encouraging women and men and everybody else should just stand up and say if they're abused or mistreated. And I just hate that, people use it. Okay, I think the first mistake Amber Heard did was like she wanted to be representation. She wanted to represent all the women in the world. It's like that's impossible. We are all different, And I always say this because me being Asian woman, and sometimes I have this feeling that whatever I do, in a good way and in a bad way, like people sometimes take it as if I represent Asian or Asian people or Asian women or, just women, period. Oh, women are like that, or Asian are like that, or Japanese are like that. But I'm like, no, that's just me. Don't take me as a representation of a certain culture or a certain gender, because that's the root of all the problems, right? What's the majority? What, white men still? But how often do they have to think that whatever I do, I represent the white race, or I represent all the men? No, right? So why should I feel like whatever I do, I have to represent Asians and women? So I think that's the whoever is trying to especially press the issues like Me Too movement or Asian hate. I hate people use that for their advantage. Oh, I represent this. It's like, no, you don't represent me. Amber Heard. I mean, I feel for you. Maybe it sounded like a toxic relationship that they had, and I feel so sorry. Things didn't work out, but I don't understand like why she had to, you know, be a spokesperson for all women, all abused women. And she should be a abused men as well. It's not just women, but also like some of the Asian people that I know, they use that like, hey, stop Asian hate and look at my Asian film. Like, well, maybe that's why things just don't change. You know, I always say, just look at me as a person. If you hate me, that's fine. But just hate me, not because I'm Asian or not because I'm a woman, but just hate me, hate my guts. So that's one thing. So I just wanted to say, whoever felt discouraged to come forward because of what happened in the, you know, one courtroom in Virginia, like, don't get discouraged. If anything, truth would come out or people will look at it. Who knows what the truth was, to be honest. It wasn't a criminal case. It was the civil case about the deformation. And yes, it did look like Johnny Depp lost a lot of money that he could have made doing other films. I think that was all about. It's not like who's guilty or not. That's criminal case. So I just wanted to say that anyone, man or woman, who had been a domestic DV situation. I know I felt all alone when that happened. Then I had this old lady in my neighborhood, because I blame myself. I was stupid. Like, I thought I was doing something wrong, and that's what the abusers can do to you. And I thought I was doing something wrong. And then this lady, old lady next door, she saw me crying, and she kind of knew what was going on. She didn't know much about she didn't know the detail, but she said, honey, you were not stupid. Maybe you were not thinking. And it just woke me up. Look, it's not time to be sitting here and crying. I gotta fight back. But oftentimes domestic abusive people make you feel that you were the one, you're the wrong one, or you were all alone. Nobody will believe you. So don't feel like that. That people will believe you no matter what the situation is. So that's what this verdict was for. So anyone who's watching this video, just don't get discouraged. Yeah, then also in a broad sense, this discriminations and hating, I know there's a lot of movement happened the last couple of years, and it's still going on, but there's always bad apples, right? In any movement, as we know. And it's time to realize that we are all unique individuals, and we don't have to be, you don't have to use that as your identity. It's your case, it's your experience. Just embrace it and be strong. That's all I wanted to say. Well, thank you for listening, and I will see you soon in my next video. What am I gonna make? Kitties, what am I gonna make?